do you call like downtown Vancouver anything special?
Not really. We just call it downtown.
Oh, you should call it like the Couv or something like that. Just something.
Funny you should say that. So when the Game Grumps were touring, they did a show in Vancouver, and they've started to call it the Couv.
Oh, I'm in good company then.
So specifically, the Vancouver branch of the Game Grumps fandom call it the Couv.
Well, now the Oklahoma branch of this podcast calls it the Couv now.
There you go.
I'm gonna start.
This is how slang happens.
Every time I talk to Jason now, I'm gonna be like, "Yo, man, so how's the Couv?"
And he'll be like, "What the hell is that? And can you please stop it?"
Everybody knows the Couv, bro.
No.
Like, okay, so like where I'm from, there's two streets in this small little town, two main streets. There's Harrison and Kickapoo. And so what you would do on, like Saturday or Friday nights is you would cruise the poo, because you would cruise down.
Wow.
The poo. It was called cruising the poo. Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. Our main streets are Granville and Broadway, I guess. Yeah.
Well, speaking of the Couv, what's up, fandom? I'm Josh.
I'm Connor.
And I'm Jaden.
And we're here to cruise the poo and the Couv. Couv.
Proven?
Croup. Nope. See,
no, that's different.
Yeah, croup sounds like something like
that's something you do with your hair.
Either
that's a real thing,
or that's something like a Victorian era, something that babies would get. They would get the croup.
Could you put the child in the croup?
Exactly. It's like they've been naughty. They're getting the croup, and you're like, oh.
Put Tommy in the croup for 10 minutes till he's learned what he's done.
For all of your croup-related needs, welcome, fans. There's no fans. They all left. They heard us talking about the croup, and they were like, nope, and they left. But today, for this episode in AniMay, we're going to be talking about the 2017, right? I was right on that.
I thought it was 2019.
Josh, cut that. We're going to be talking about the 2019 Trigger anime film, Promare. Now, have you guys, other than Star Wars Visions, have you guys watched any other Trigger escapades?
No.
Yes.
Well, I mean, that doesn't surprise me coming from Connor. Connor's not really big into the anime.
I enjoy it when I do watch it, but it's not often something I seek out.
Gotcha. What about you, Jaden?
I'm familiar with other Trigger stuff. I don't watch anime nowadays as much as I used to when I was younger, but
he says that was like 2 years ago.
No, I mean like high school. Like I was super into it in high school. Going into college, I started to dwindle down a little bit, but I've seen like Kill la Kill, which I freaking love. Panty and Stocking. I know Gurren Lagann doesn't fully count because that was like Gynex.
It basically counts. I mean, like the creator, like the guy left Gynex
to work at Trigger.
Yeah, who did and founded Trigger then. So it's like same with
Evangelion.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I haven't watched Evangelion. I've tried watching it several times and I just can't get into it.
Evangelion is one of those things that's been like, I'm tragically overhyped for me.
It's like it has like a cult following and it's very iconic for many. It's been referenced a lot in several things. So it's one of those
classics. It's one of those things where like I'll mention that I haven't seen it and someone will be like, it's so good, you have to watch it. I'm like, I'm sure it's good. I just need fewer people to talk about it.
Yeah.
So that I feel like I can watch it on my own time.
Didn't a movie of it come out somewhat recently?
Yeah.
Yeah. So originally old school anime had an original dub. Netflix acquired the rights to it, redubbed the entire thing. While this was going, like before like even the Netflix stuff came out, they had been releasing kind of like movie versions of everything where they're kind of like cut down. So instead of having to watch the entire series, you can just watch these little bitty like chopped up bits. Like the first movie is like takes like the first like 10 episodes and like smashes it together.
Interesting.
Different stuff.
Okay.
So
I
there's
like that.
4 of those. There's 1.11, 2.22, 3.33, and then 3.0 plus 1.0.
That's why they call it that.
Yeah.
It's kind
Interesting.
of like Kingdom Hearts. Like
Exactly, yeah. I'm waiting for like Evangelion Ava
The
drop
Evangelion timeline explained.
But yeah, it's where and we've had a couple the original voices of Shinji and Asuka on the pod before. Very nice people. Yeah, it's a great show. The anime is really good, but you can watch like all the stuff on Netflix. Like there's been multiple versions of Evangelion that are all like the same Evangelion. There's one where they like got like the death movie or whatever, and it just kind of like
the end of Evangelion.
Yeah, end of Evangelion, and there's another one that they kind of like smush everything together, and they're like, here you go, here's just all of Evangelion.
Okay.
I
just
think
know
Gurren Lagann did a similar thing too, of like taking a movie and splicing up the series and condensing it into that.
Yeah, I think Gurren Lagann did it, and I think Eureka 7 did the same thing where they were just like, just throw a bunch of stuff together and we'll just call that the end of the movie, the end of the story. Like, okay. Speaking of Eureka 7, so Gurren Lagann, I think probably one of the best.
It's my absolute favorite anime ever.
It's a phenomenal anime.
Love it.
You get really attached to characters at the beginning, and then only for them to go away, and you're like, it's it's a thing. It's great. I have not seen Kill la Kill.
Spoilers, even though it came out like 2007.
I was about to say, like, that came out like 20 years ago. Gurren Lagann 2007. Yeah, so 20ish years ago. So I've not seen Kill la Kill. I watched a good chunk of Darling in the Franxx, and I watched SSS Gridman.
Oh, also Brand New Animal. I almost forgot about that one. That's
the BNA one.
Yeah, BNA.
There was another thing that I watched.
Was Little Witch Academia them as well?
Yep, Little Witch Academia is them as well. So is Pace Patrol Luluco.
I haven't seen that one, but I've heard of that one.
Yeah. When Supernatural Beasts Become Commonplace is also them. That was whenever
I've seen a good amount of their stuff.
Like whenever they were doing people do ad reads and everything for like Crunchyroll, a lot of people would do like when supernatural battles become commonplace. It was always one of the ones that they would, promote for like Crunchyroll. That and something about Bunny Girl Senpai or something like that. I don't know. I don't know half the anime that are out there. There's just too many. But yeah, like I thoroughly enjoy Gurren Lagann. I really dug Gridman. Darling, I was with Darling in the Franxx for a while, but then it got a little bit too much. Just a bit. A bit more fan service than I think even Kill la Kill.
That's saying something.
Yeah, Kill la Kill is all about like, what if we just make them change clothes and wear skimpy outfits, and then when they're defeated, the clothes explode?
Yeah, pretty much.
And then Darling in the Franxx was like, hold my beer, I got this.
They also did an episode of Steven Universe.
Yes, they were like guest animators.
Did they also do any of that stuff for
Gumball? They were in an episode of Gumball as well.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, it's very easy to identify, but it's one where Gumball's mom has this like showdown with this cloud lady, and they drew it like super anime, like fighting scene. It's so cool. It's really, really good.
Oh,
The color.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
The color palette of Promare very much reminded me of Steven Universe.
It has a lot of pastels and neons. So
Yeah.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did the opening for OK Go and something for Pixar. Battlestar.
Like the band OK Go?
No. OK Go, let's be the Cartoon Network show.
Oh.
I guess they did the opening for that, and then they did something for Pixar called
OK
Battlestars.
KO, you mean?
OK KO.
What did I
Yeah.
say? Did I say
You said OK Go.
That's so confusing.
Which is like an indie rock band.
Too. Yeah. I was like, what?
Oh, here it goes again. Yeah, so yeah, they do a lot of stuff, and you can definitely tell their style. Like in the Star Wars Visions one.
Yeah.
Like, this is the trigger one because it's over the top anime explosions and very bright colors. And I absolutely
crazy
love
dynamic poses where like his body contorts and does all crazy stuff.
Yeah.
They love poses. Like every time you see a really cool pose, it's either JoJo's or Trigger. That's one of the two. That's it. It's either one of the two beings.
Yeah, I liked that they were a little self-aware about it in this movie. Like at the beginning, during the first big sequence, which I noticed at a certain point, I was like, I am 17 minutes into this movie, 15 of which have been the same action sequence.
Yeah, it just kind of hits you like bam, 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 just like one after another.
Yeah, but there's a moment where someone's like, why are you posing in the middle of trying to put out a fire?
Yeah.
Gallo is real quick. Let's did you guys watch it in the dub or the sub?
I did the sub.
I've seen both.
All right. I'm not going to attempt the Japanese names because I would butcher them.
I can do it.
But we have Gallo as Billy Commits, Leo as Johnny Young Bosch, Cray Forsyth as Crispin Freeman, Ina as Allison Lee Rosenfield. Rosenfeld. We've got Remy as Billy Bob Thompson, Vars as John Eric Bentley. We have Ignis as the incomparable Stephen Bloom. It's not Stephen, it's just Steve. Lucia as Carrie Walgren, Vinny as Michael Sinter Nicholas. We also have Harris as Erica Limbeck. What did they say? It's Bear? Is Bear? Fire.
I don't think he said her name very often at all.
He says one time when she's going down into the thing and he's like, you have command or whatever, or that's the only time that he says her name.
I feel like it would be BR.
But it's Melissa Fawn who plays Ed in Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, that makes sense.
And also Gaz in Invader Zim.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Awesome. We also have Vulcan as Neil Kaplan. We do have Guerrera and Mays from Matt Mercer and Yuri Lowenthal, respectively.
Oh, damn. That was Matthew Mercer. Oh.
And Deus as Mike Pollock. Shout out. Good for Matt Mercer and Yuri.
Wow.
Glad they got in here. And I think, because I was talking with Jaden before it started, and I don't know if it's something contractually, but anything that G Kids does, like Michael Sinclair Nicholas is in it. And so it's one of those if it's G Kids, I'm always looking at him like, where is he? Where is he? He's got to be in here somewhere.
He's around here.
He's going to be a background character or he's somebody, but he's going to be listed somewhere as some character. And so it's always fun when you get to find your Sinter Nicholas in your G Kids. It's like a weird thing to say. You find your Sinter Nicholas in your G Kids.
Exactly. I will note, I just noticed this movie came out on my birthday.
Happy birthday 3 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like the English release or the Japanese?
No, the Japanese release.
Oh.
So May 15th?
No, May 24th.
Oh, well, technically, May 15th was the Tokyo premiere. So, I mean,
The film was released on May 24th, 2019 in Japan.
May 15th, 2019 was the Tokyo premiere. And
Okay.
May 24th, 2019 was for the general release. So,
Okay. Well, it ain't nothing.
I don't know. I don't care. I don't know what Mark is saying. Well, happy birthday. And did this episode come out before or after your birthday? That's a great question.
That is a great question.
Vamp,
What
Time will
day is
tell.
my birthday going to be on this year? Let
your
me check.
birthday is on a Tuesday.
Oh boy. Oh, I'm going to be streaming that day.
Hey, everybody,
Hey.
go and say hi to Connor when he's streaming. Give him a sub.
Do it. I want the money.
If you if you have your Prime sub, give him to Connor. Right? Isn't that what they do? If they have a Prime sub, they can give you a Prime sub.
Yeah, you gift a sub.
Yeah, give the Prime sub, or
Yeah.
give 10 subs. I don't know how much that is. I assume it's a lot.
I don't know either.
I assume it's like $100. I don't know. Twitch.
Possible.
So Promare.
Promare.
It's like, okay. Watching this, it was like they took the character designs from Gurren Lagann.
Mhm.
They took a bunch of the fight and action scenes from Kill la Kill.
Mhm.
They took the mechs from SSS Gridman. And then everything else, they were just like, throw it together. Just do it.
Let's
Just throw it all
remix
together.
it.
And they just did it.
Yeah.
It's like we have a Kamina character who is basically Kamina.
Yeah.
There's the small rat, which
Yeah.
is Michael Center Nicholas, which is very much like a small mole.
Mhm.
Is there a
Vinny.
rat or mole in Kill la Kill? I think there is. No,
Mm,
there's a
no,
dog.
there's a
right?
pug.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I
yeah.
thought there was a thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they also took I think some mech stuff from like Darling and the Franks too. Sorry, no, they took the fan service from Darling and the Franks.
Yes.
Like whatever what is her name? Is it Ina?
I forget.
The girl? The
Pink-haired
pilot-
one, right?
Pink-haired girl? I think it's Ina. Whenever she's in her little like plane thing, I'm like, that's from Darling and the Franks. They loved that pose.
She reminded me of Yoko a lot.
She did. Well, it's because she wears like the half jacket thing.
Mhm.
And like she's got the short shorts and the half jacket. All she needed was a sniper rifle and she would have been
Yep.
good to go. That's all
Pretty
she needed. If you have not watched Gurren Lagann, all of these references you're not getting any
Yeah.
of these. But no, yeah, like whenever like there's the little rat with the fire helmet, it's like there's a drill. They bring a drill in at the end of the movie.
I was
and
like,
I'm
hey.
I was like, of
I
course
thought.
they've got a drill. Like Trigger loves drills.
Yeah.
There's one shot. Okay, so there's one shot when they're all like it's not all together. It's Leo and Gallo and Ina, and they're with the doctor guy, the professor.
Yeah. Like the computer guy?
Yeah. What was his name? Deus.
Deus.
They're with Deus, and there's like a weird part where it's showing Ina, but like it's like that weird like cheese grate thing. Well, like the scene is really bizarre, but it's like this cheese grate, and it's showing her, and it's like what they would do when they were trying to like cover up like sensitive areas.
Right.
And it's just on her. Like Gallo's
Yeah.
off to the side, like completely fine, and he's just like this. And it's like, why? Why are we doing this? This doesn't make any sense. Like it's focused on one character, and I was like, I understand that we need to have a little bit of the fan service because it's Trigger, and that is one thing that they are known for,
Mm.
especially recently. Like after Kill la Kill and Darling and the Franks, it's like, we must have fan service. I'm surprised there wasn't any in Star Wars, but I'm sure Disney was like, no.
Yeah, they wouldn't have let that fly.
You know, there's the trigger version of that Fissions episode.
The trigger cut.
Yeah, there is the trigger cut where, you know, when the two of them are like battling and like their little suit things come, there's a lot more. Like that's the trigger cut. Yeah, so like whenever there's stuff like that, I was just like, man, what are we doing here? Like this is a bit much. Like the movie doesn't really need this. I mean, Gallows shirtless the entire thing. Sorry, no, he wears a shirt twice.
Yeah,
he wears a shirt twice.
A jacket once and a shirt once.
Yeah, so it's like he technically he's clothed, but then like everyone's just like, screw it, we'll just take all the shirts off. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Go for it. I mean, Simone's like shirtless the entire series in Gurren Lagann, so it's like, why not? He and Kamina, they don't know how to keep shirts on.
No.
Yeah, weird. I don't know. It's good. It's good. I liked the movie.
Yeah.
I wish it would have been a series, because I wish we could have gotten a little bit more in depth on some of the characters.
Yeah.
Never like say never. Who knows if they ever do a series or a little spin-off.
It would. I mean, it'd be kind of a weird series now that there's no more like Promares or anything like that. They're all gone. They would just be like,
yeah,
to rebuild, I guess.
But it could be a prequel that shows the backstories.
That's terrible. I hate prequels, especially prequels for something that's already happened, because you know how it's going to end.
Yeah.
Like I don't
know.
I
don't know about that. I liked Rogue One.
I mean,
I think you broke him.
It's just like I mean, that's like Solo though. Like, you know how Solo's gonna end.
Yeah, Solo was not good.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think you can take a pass with Rogue One, only because like we don't actually know that story. We just know and we don't know they all die. We didn't know anything that happened. It was just like Princess Leia has plans, and that's it. That's,
I suppose,
how it goes.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
If they would have done like the Death Star 2, and it's like this is a movie about a bunch of Bothans, and you're like, well, I know that many of them are going to die because that is what has been told to me by Mon Mothma. And I'm sorry, Jaden, that's a bunch of Star Wars talk that I know you don't.
No, I'm just
for.
like
so
dial-up noises in my brain.
I basically get. That's what Connor was having when we were talking Gurren Lagann.
Yes.
I was back to what. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say
last thing.
Okay.
I was waiting for those two kids to pop up.
Which two kids?
His like in Gurren Lagann, the two kids that they rescue that turn into
the redhead and the blonde
one, blue head. Yeah. One of them's name is like the boy's name is Gimme a Day, and I'm like, it's the best anime name that's ever happened.
That's so good.
Like that's like Gundam level naming scheme.
That is good.
Gimme a Day is like, that's perfect. And I don't remember what his sister's name was.
I don't remember either.
Go ahead, Jaden. I'll find it. Don't worry.
I was gonna say, going back to what you said about possibly like doing it as a series, I feel like compared to Brand New Animal, which was like the newest thing that came out after Promare from Trigger, like I think it did a pretty good job at telling a story with like a concise beginning, middle, and end. It all felt like it had a nice wrapped up ending. It was conclusive. So it's like, compared to Brand New Animal, where they had a whole season to tell a story, I feel like Promare did a better job telling a story in like less than 2 hours than Brand New Animal did in a whole season. So I feel like maybe it probably doesn't need a series, because like you said, it already has its ending. Like there's no more Promare, so I don't know where they would go from there. But I'm happy with the way it is.
Her name was Daria Day.
Wow.
Not as cool as her brother Gimme.
No.
But just saying.
Still pretty good.
Okay, so my only thing with that is, and I get where you're coming from with that. I just don't understand why they did a whole thing about like name cards for all the characters, you know? And it's like
in the beginning?
They do name cards at the beginning, and then they do name cards again during the credits. And it's really bizarre that they do it twice, and they're just like, and we're done. See you guys later.
Yeah.
Real quick, the last thing about the credits, I do like that instead of it being black, it's just a bunch of colors. Like it's just great colors going throughout. I thought that was really nice. Like if I was still cleaning movie theaters, I would have been like, "Oh,
it's enjoyable.
Very
to
bright
watch.
theater."
I can see all the popcorn I have to clean up now.
Yes, I can see that somebody spilt their drink.
I can see that someone brought a whole pizza and then didn't eat any of it and then just left it here.
No, what they would have done is they would have taken it and dumped it on the floor on their way out.
Yeah.
Because
anyway,
they're animals.
Thank you, Promare, for the neon yellow credits.
Yes.
So that I can see all of that.
Neon yellow, Promare.
No.
Credit song.
What was really cool was that when I saw Promare, I watched it in theaters because it came out pre-pandemic times.
This movie would have been so ridiculous to watch on a big screen.
Dude, I'll tell you one thing.
It's amazing because that's how I experienced it.
On an OLED, it looks nice.
I bet.
Like, it was popping colors like nobody's business.
Yeah.
One thing that was cool about when it came out in theaters, I don't think they did this for every screening, but I think the first one that I saw it at, they had a thing at the end where they had like a director's commentary after the credits. That was like another like 45 minutes.
Yeah, G Kids does that
behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, whenever I think you go to like the G Kids, like if you go like during like the certain premiere stuff, then yeah, they have like special. That's why if you can go to a G Kids thing, go to a G Kids thing, especially on a premiere, because you'll get those extra little bits, and it's phenomenal.
There was also a theater in Orlando that had it in 4D, which was really cool. I didn't get to experience that, but my friends did. I'm so jealous.
How would that work?
Well, during the movie, though, sometimes like let's say there's a fight scene and there's like fire, there'll be heat, or the seats will move around.
Okay,
the scene where Leo shows up, there's rose scent sprayed into the
I don't
audience.
like that.
It's like when you're on like Soarin' at Disneyland and you like fly over and spray stuff in your face.
I'm fine with the D box seats that like move around and shake. That's fun. It's a nice gimmick, but I don't want to have to smell things.
It's just that one scene where they have the scent, but everything else is like,
of course it is,
and like the sounds and like all that.
I mean, it would be kind of cool, like in the fire, like as you see there, like they ratchet up the heat a little bit, and then now what would have been really cool is if like you have like when they're doing like the heat and like the fire and ice like fight thing, if you got half this side going heat, half this side going cold, that would have been dope.
Yeah,
I don't know how you do that, but
I feel like that would cause headaches.
Yeah, it's like 4 people got allergies. Well, after the 40
4 people got allergies. 50 people had epileptic seizures.
Oh my god! I mean, with all the
half of which don't even have a history of it.
And I think that's like my biggest complaint about this was like the story is very rushed. Which is fine for a little movie. Except that it felt like they were building this world and wanting you to be super invested with like all of these characters, but then we don't deal with any of these characters. It feels like Promare feels like a anime. It feels like a movie from an anime. Like it feels like like
something you should already know the
exactly. Like you've already watched like the first 24 episodes, and now here's a movie about it. Like that's what Promare feels like. So like I was like the entire time I was like, man, I wish we would have known more about these people over here. Like for Ignis, who's like the fire chief guy, I'm sure he's got a great story, and we just never hear anything about it. Like there's just nothing at all. He's just like, we got Steve Bloom to be this guy. There you go. That's what we did with Steve Bloom.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
I also think.
Oh, go ahead.
I know that like they already kind of spent some time doing the thing where like at the beginning, like you're cheering for this like firefighting team, and then the Mad Burnish show up, and you're like, oh, I guess these guys are the villains. And then, you watch the whole fight scene, and it's a very long, drawn out fight scene, and everyone's very determined and whatnot. And like, it's one of those movies where eventually you realize, you kind of question like who's good and who's not, kind of thing. And I feel like yeah, but I feel like they could have spent almost a little more time like getting the audience into one's frame of mind, so that when you realize that like the burning are just like regular people, and the police and government are actually just doing a genocide, it's like a more shocking twist.
I feel like every movie is like government bad. Anything that's like dystopian or like,
I mean, this
government bad.
This movie in particular, I like, is very clearly like a commentary on like the way that immigrants are treated, and like criminalized. Which I had my girlfriend like sitting on the other desk in the room while I was watching it, and there was a moment, I think it was like right during the pizzeria scene, where I realized and said aloud, I was like, oh, this is a movie about racism. And then from that point on, I was like, okay, I think I could vibe to this.
That was a little bit, that part was a bit, I was just like, the guy just wants to make pizza, man.
Yeah.
No, I was like, pobrecito. And also like there was like that whole like Noah's Ark vibe going on too, like trying to evacuate
the
only 10,000
freaking
people.
2012 disaster movie.
Yeah, it's like only 10,000 people, and I'm like, that's a bit bigger. That can hold more than 10. Like that's at least 1 million people, guys. Like even in that Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt movie, there were more than 10,000 people on that thing. So it's like, you could do more.
What did you guys think about the plot twist?
Which one?
Yeah,
the one with Cray.
He looked like a bad, because again, he's
like, we know he's the
strong,
villain, but what did you think about the twist of him being a burnish as well?
Oh, that was,
yeah.
I don't think it was necessary.
Well, we needed him to be able to fight, and in order for us to do that, we can't just put him in a mech.
Did you kind of figure it out before they revealed it?
Kind of, because like since he was the big bad, I was like, he's got to have something else. Like he's either got to be like some sort of something.
I thought he was gonna have.
That's just a trigger thing.
Yeah,
like going back to Gurren Lagann and stuff like that. It's like you're like, oh yeah, you know, like the big bad is he's part of it. He's like a thing. It's a deal.
I thought he was gonna have like the opposite of like the burnish, where he had the same thing, but it's ice kind of thing.
That would have been interesting, like a different mutation or something.
Coldish.
Yeah.
But like, did you guys pick up on the little hints throughout, like with his hand that he kind of like hides?
Yeah, I saw the little hand smoke.
And he's like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was like light enough that I was like, is that supposed
right now?
I was like, they're coming for me.
I was burning rescue going for Jaden.
But yeah, like I mentioned before, I saw it in theaters when it came out. I saw it twice. I saw it in English and in Japanese. And both times that I saw it, the audience was like, whoa. Like when they revealed him to be a burnish, like everyone was surprised every time. Like, it's so good. I love it.
Yeah. There's this weird thing that I've noticed in a few different properties. Like they did it's the same twist that they pulled in the first season of Legend of Korra. Where like,
because it's been so long.
And like, I guess spoilers for the first season of Legend of Korra, but like Amon is this like guy who's like all against benders and like wants to take away all bending, and then like before the end of the season, you realize that he's just a bloodbender that was abused by his dad.
Yeah, but in this movie, Steve Bloom was a good guy and not a bad guy.
Sure. Yeah, it's different in that like in like Amon was established as a bad guy the whole time. But it doesn't have to be like an internalized just like prejudice sort of thing. It can just be like a person that is prejudiced.
I like how everybody in the movie kept asking Forsyth, like, if you have all this stuff, why haven't you tried? And I was like, I was waiting for him to be like, I am tired of having to explain myself. I've explained myself 4 times this movie. If somebody asks again, I'm going to snap. Like, I was just waiting.
And then he does.
Yeah, he really
He does.
does.
I like when, he's okay. So when he's yelling at Gallo to be like stop making stupid names. And then he uses like, this is the burning ice black.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, where do you think you got it from?
What was the genocide cultivation beam, I believe was at least the translation that I saw. It was the one that he was like, this is how we turn mountains into farms.
It was very Star Trek with the Genesis references. I did like, it's like, what about the people in this? Like, they're all underground. And I'm like, you can't know that for sure, sir. Like, you can't. There's no way that you can know that.
Yeah.
It's like, no, like we've had them evacuated for the last 2 weeks. Because I had a feeling that this was gonna happen. So
one of my favorite sticks in it was when they go to like the lake that's frozen over and they discover the lab and like the mech and all the stuff underneath, and like the old man, the hologram.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, why did you choose us? Like, why are we the chosen ones to like save the world? And he was like, oh, you just happened to stumble.
You showed up.
You showed up because you just did. If you
I like that a lot because it's so realistic.
Yes, and it's like, what happens if we didn't show up? It's like, well, I guess we wouldn't. It's like,
I guess Craig's plan would have doomed the Earth.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing.
It's like, wait, so we're not chosen to be like, no, you're just
here. You just showed up at the right place at the right time.
Yeah. I thought the ice skating thing was kind of cute, and I was like,
it was.
Then he just like drops her like a rock.
Like that was great. I was like, no, that is the Kamina anime male protagonist vibe.
Yes.
Like, you've got the hair, you've got no shirt, you're kind of smooth, but you're also a moron.
He's just a himbo.
That is
he's a himbo.
Yeah, exactly. That is
absolutely
male protagonist 101. And just like drops her like, look up in sky, and you're like, what?
Yeah. He like leans in closer to her face to look at the reflection in the ice.
It's like, my goodness. Like, at least we got an anime blush.
True.
Yay, anime blush.
We did get a kiss near the end.
Mm-hmm.
We got a CPR.
Yeah.
Then he's doing the neck tilt and everything, and I was like,
yeah,
that's CPR.
Yeah. I think Gallo and Leo make a cute couple though.
They do.
they're very bromance, and I like it.
Like, if that was actually what they were trying to go through, this is an amazing like enemies to lovers arc.
I don't know. I don't think that. See, here's my thing with that. Like, I don't think that they did any sort of romance in this, only because like Gallo's just a moron.
Yeah.
So I don't think it could be this beautiful love triangle that would last an entire anime series of Gallo, Leo, and Ina, and it would have been amazing. And we'll never see it.
Well, there'd be a whole season's worth of like conversations of like, hey, do you remember that time that you kissed me? And he'd be like, it was CPR.
Exactly. It would have been a whole thing. And then at the end, because it's trigger, they would have been like, screw it, thruple. And that's what would have happened.
Yeah. I would applaud them for it.
Yeah. We don't get enough thruples in anime.
We don't get enough thruples in media in general.
In general, yeah.
One day we'll get a mainstream thruple.
I just also love how, like, one, they held that frame for a very long time.
They sure did.
They really did.
They lingered on it.
And two, like, when he like backed away, he was like, oh, like, I'm supposed to put out fires. You're making me start them. Like, I thought that was really
right.
Cool. I was like,
what are you doing to me?
It reminded me a lot of the last Star Wars movie. There's a little bit Ben and Kylo. I was waiting for Gallo to die after that, because apparently that's what happens when you kiss somebody who's dead and you spit the force back into them.
I don't make the rules.
Like, I don't make the rules. Star Wars made the rules. Yeah. So like, whenever you spit the force back into somebody, that's what happens.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that they are actually spitting the force. I like to think that that's what Kylo did. He was like
yeah. It's the midichlorians that are escaping via the saliva.
It's that midichlorian phlegm.
Yeah.
The deleted scene. He's like right into Ray's
midichlorian phlegm. That's amazing.
I mean, well, like what they used to call it back in, the High Republic, it was the midichlorian cough, like you're like, cough into them.
Yeah.
Because they were, nice. And anyway, what about Promare? Action scenes. What'd you guys think of the action scenes? I thought they were great. Yeah,
they slapped.
I want to do, there were so many. Okay. So there's a scene where, Ursa, is that the sister's name? What is sister's name?
Damn, I forgot her name already.
Harris.
Bob haircut.
Yeah, like Harris.
Yeah.
Harris or Harris.
Yeah.
Where it shows her and she's talking to, I don't know who she's talking to. She's talking to somebody, but like half of her, no, it's her and Ina. There's that thing where they're walking in like that circle and like the light is hitting them a certain way. There's a part where the light hits Eris's hair and it's pink, and then it does this gradient into like this like super dark blue. So it's like pink, purple, red, and then kind of go like violet and then into the blue. And I was like, I'm gonna make a pair of dice like that. Like just because of her hair, I'm gonna make a pair of dice. And then like all of the different, colors and everything. I'm like, I gotta make so many different dice with this. It's gonna be amazing. I'm just gonna make Promare dice.
Do it.
Just gonna do that.
Oh my god, you should make some like neon green ones with pink in the center, just like the burnish fire.
That's what these were supposed to be.
What? Yeah.
Yes.
I was thinking, if you'd
but they glow in the dark. They have to glow in the dark.
I can make glow in the dark ones. They also have those like color changing ones. Thermal chromatic. Is that what they're called? Yeah. So like you can like hold them, and then like when your fist gets warm, then you throw them, and then they're red from like blue or whatever. So like I can get some of those. So I'm like, there's different powders and everything that you can get. There's so many things that you could do with dice.
Yeah, put those with some like just jet black for like some like matte burnish.
Oh, dice. That'd be dope. Yeah. Like I want to do like a kind of what I did with these drip ones, but have it, instead of being like this full green, doing like gray, but then like having like the drips be like pink and green. I think that would just be kind of like make them pop really, really good. Anyway, so Promare, the action scenes I thought were really, really cool. I like his first little, like his second, like this is my old timey fireman from a nondescript island nation. Because we can't, I guess, Japan. That was a little bit weird. It was like, yes, from an indescript island nation. I was like, just say.
You know what it is.
Like we all know, we understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I thought that was really cool. So like I liked his little like his move set and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then the big one.
I like the idea that he just like took a moment from battling this mysterious figure to discuss the visual inspirations for his mech suit.
Yes.
Well, that's what him and Lucia are doing the entire time.
True.
She's like, I made this for you.
Yeah, just like pulls out a whole mood board mid battle.
Yeah. Also, her outfit also very much like Yoko. Literally, just it's a bra and then like a lab coat over the top of it. And I was
Yeah,
like,
Like stockings and shorts.
yeah, like everyone must be very warm all the time.
She
They better
reminded me
be.
more. She reminded me more of a character from Kill la Kill, the one that has the other half of the scissors, the lowly looking one.
Oh
It
yeah,
reminded me a lot about her.
the one who's like, what's her face's friend? I don't remember.
I
their
think
name.
she's the main character's sister or something.
Sister? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they were
Mhm.
friends, if they were sisters, what it was.
I think they're sisters. But yes.
Mhm.
Keep having sirens in the back.
Dude, I told you it's burning rescue. They're coming for you, man.
Like, yes, please. Show up at my door. I want to see Gallo.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I really like. So, I like that they did lens flares, but the lens flares were square.
Yeah.
There was a lot of
They were
shape
like
ranges in
weird
this
polygonal
movie.
lens flares.
Okay. One thing I didn't like is I did not like the opening with that weird 3D, like that 3D
No.
animation. I thought that was
Oh, of like the city
of
shot.
the city. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, it looked a little clunky.
This is like something that from like Reboot or Code Lyoko or something.
Yeah.
Like some old school thing that like nobody would ever watch. And I was like, why is this here? I've seen you do really good stuff, Trigger.
Yeah.
Why is this like this?
Because drawing buildings is hard. Let's just 3D model it.
Yeah.
Just throw a camera in there. But yeah, I see what you mean. It's a weird transition from like the 3D to the 2D. But what's really cool is I really like the shape language that they use in this movie. Like fire is associated with triangles. It's really angular and sharp. And then like
the
ice
ash
blocks
whenever
are square.
yeah, like Ash's little triangles that float away. I was like,
Yeah. I love the use of triangles in it. That was really cool. The ice blocks are square. Yeah, it's cool. I also like how the mecha combination of Leo and Gallo is called like Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, it's just straight up Deus Ex Machina.
Yes.
what were the names of the two things?
What two things?
It was like Leo de Gallian and then like Gallo.
Yeah, there was like Gallo de Leon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which I thought like both of those were really, really cool. It reminded, so it hit me like Digimon because I was like, oh, that's Omnimon. I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, they fused together. So this is when Greymon and Garurumon fused together, and then yeah.
Yeah.
But it is very colorful, and I really appreciated that. It was very nice to look at, very pleasing to look at.
It's
Yes.
just pure eye candy.
Oh yeah,
It's
and
so
again,
Yeah.
pretty.
Trigger. That's what they do. Like it's just so good. Like all their stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. I found it interesting the part at the very beginning where like the like burnish is getting like activated and like the specific contexts in which it's getting activated, because it's all like ignited from like just anger or like wrath sort of stuff.
Oh
So
yeah, like showing like the person's in traffic, the person on the bus.
and then the person
Releasing
getting
their rage.
Mhm.
yeah, there's like one just like random guy sitting at his laptop on like a message forum.
That was good.
Yes.
Like, I'd like to think that somebody, killed him in like Overwatch or something. So he just rage quit. Like,
Or he's just reading someone's like bad take on Star Wars. or
That
Marvel.
means they weren't listening to our good takes on Star Wars.
Exactly.
Our takes are perfect.
Actually, our takes are probably the ones that would make a Star Wars fan activate their burnish.
Well, here's the thing. I think a real Star Wars fan would be like, they're correct. They are correct.
These are good. These are fair points.
They understand.
Touche.
They understand what we're talking about.
They understand what we go through. Us poor, discriminated Star Wars fans.
Exactly. As a poor Star Wars fan.
Someone who identifies as a Star Wars fan, I often feel marginalized.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anything else we want to talk before we piss off all the Star Wars fans?
Well, I guess
if there's any listening that after our Star Wars Visions episode, there's any left.
Oh man. Well, I guess what you said earlier, how it's like a combination of like Gurren Lagann and like this and that and the other. I feel like as far as the concept of it, like the burnish being like these little aliens and like the way that the fire works, I felt like it was pretty original. Like I've never seen anything like that. So I felt like it's a pretty unique story.
Yeah, it was a weird, it was like, there were so many like different like elements of that like explanation that are like by themselves a lot to unpack. So like first off, there's a star in a parallel universe that is taking up the same position as the Earth. Okay, got that? Okay, from that, there are these little beings that look like fire, but they're not fire. They're just aliens made out of energy. And the fraction of their energy manifests in this thing that looks like fire. Covered? Everyone with me still?
Yes.
Hold on real quick. You're explaining what a Jedi is.
What?
You're explaining what a Jedi is. They're these like alien life forms, these like microscopic beings that are in a certain group of people that allow them to have special powers.
Oh no.
Oh so.
No, don't try to tell me that the Promare are midiclorians.
Yes, the Promare midiclorians.
Gosh, dang it.
But unlike The Last Jedi or The Rise of Skywalker, when the Promare leave, there are no more.
Yeah, they're gone for good.
Yeah.
But it's also funny that while they're explaining it, Gallo's also like snoring.
Yeah.
He was kind of like me. I was like, I don't care. I don't particularly care. I was just like, get him out of here. So. All right. Pass, stream, rent, or buy.
Well, I tried watching this on Crunchyroll via the like free trial, and then I went to watch it and it said it wasn't available in my region.
Oh.
So I canceled my free trial and then went and rented it for $3 on YouTube. So, and I don't regret it.
Honor.
So it's a rent for me, whether I like it or not. But I did like it. So
you should keep your Crunchyroll and then watch My Dress Up Darling.
Maybe.
Or Gurren Lagann, but I think that's on Netflix. They keep adding it and removing.
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those like it fluctuates.
It comes and goes.
Yeah. I'm a rent as well. I watched it on HBO Max. I would not have mind spending the $3.99 to rent this movie. I thought it was good. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it. But as it progressed, I was like, because I was expecting from things that I had heard that it was just visuals and no story. That is what I've been told, and that's kind of what I was expecting. But I watched it and I was like, no, there's a story here.
Yeah.
It's there. It's there. It's not, the best story, but again, for a movie, and from Trigger, I
still think it ties up all its loose ends.
It does. It does. And then they're just like, it ties them up enough to where you're like, man, I would like to see more. I won't, but I would like to.
Yes. I think for me, it's the obvious answer. I actually have the steel box edition of it because I love it so much. I own it. So
Nice.
I have it. Yes. But for me, it's a buy because
Nice.
I love it so much.
Fair enough.
All right. Where can people find you guys?
You can find me on Twitter at Connor Thiessen. You can also find me on Twitter, also Instagram and TikTok at TallLankyGuy96. And then I am on YouTube and Twitch as Tall Lanky Guy.
Nice.
And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Pixel Latte. That's with 2 I's and 2 T's.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh L. Kane. Find the
Padcast.
Find the podcast. Find the podcast on Instagram at What's Up Fandom, on Twitter at What's Up Fandom PC for podcast. All of our episodes available: iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Google Play, Spotify, YouTube, Audible, and on our website, animationstationpodcast.com. Thanks to 1 out of 10 for the intro and outro. Check them out on Spotify. That's 1 out of 10. And go watch Promare. Currently, at the time of this recording, you can watch the sub and dub on HBO Max. If you don't want to rent it. When this comes out, who knows where it will be.
Yeah.
All right. So for What's Up Fandom, I'm Josh.
Connor.
And I'm Kane.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good night.
I'm not the leading authority on action, poetic or using big words. But this writer is my philosophy about living in such a world.